So why cloud-based data warehouse? Why we are calling this as cloud-based and why not others? So for AWS, we are having Redshift as a data warehouse. For Azure, we have Synapses as the data warehouse. And for GCP, we are having BigQuery as a data warehouse. But see, apart from this, now all are moving into Snowflake. Okay, now they are need to migrate their data into Snowflake. Why we are only considering the Snowflake? Why not others? So we are having these other data warehouses and this. See, there are advantages and there will be consequently there will be disadvantages. Okay, so am I audible? Is my voice clear?
Yeah,
Yeah,
it is clear.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, thank you. So see, we will be integrating this Snowflake with all these three services. All the three services we will be integrating. See, Snowflake can be on top of this AWS or Azure or GCP. We can create our Snowflake account on top of this all three services. But here, if we want to integrate this Redshift with Azure services, like if we need to if we need to bring the data from any other blob, okay, from Azure blob, if we need to integrate the data with Redshift, we need to have some security issues. We need to have some permissions. But here, see, while Snowflake, we can integrate on top of these three services. When we are creating our Snowflake account, okay, so we will be creating on top of these three. We are not integrating separately. We are just creating our account. So that is one of the biggest advantage here in Snowflake. Okay. So why we are calling totally the cloud based means, see, it is a SaaS model. It is a SaaS model. If we say SaaS model means software as a service. It is a software as a service. What software as a service? Any idea? See, we have another services called IaaS, like infrastructure as a service and platform as a service and software as a service. We have three services. So why mainly SaaS we are going? Why Snowflake is a SaaS model? Any idea about software as a service?
Yeah, there is no infrastructure.
Then how we will do? If there is no infrastructure, then how we can create our database where we store our data? So without storage, how can we store the data?
In cloud.
In cloud means cloud don't have infrastructure.
No need to software.
No need to download any software. Yeah,
Yes, we don't
the
want to
one time.
download any software. We don't want to
Yeah,
purchase any licenses. We
yes,
mainly we don't want to manage anything. Okay, we don't want to manage anything here. Okay, see, there will be infrastructure, there will be a network systems, there will be there will be software, everything, there will be servers, there will be storage space, everything will be there. But what happens? What we do here is we don't want to manage anything on manually. Okay, everything here, every infrastructure, network, storage, everything will be managed by Snowflake automatically. Okay, Snowflake manages everything automatically. Okay, see, we don't want to install Snowflake. We don't have any software to install Snowflake. It's the direct UI we are going to use. Okay, so direct UI we are going to use here. See, and so in that UI itself, you can do lot of things. Okay, you can create your worksheets. You can integrate with other services. Okay, you can integrate with other services like Azure, like AWS and GCP. Okay, the storage systems, you can integrate with them. You can load the data from them. Okay, you can unload the data. You can create the stages. Okay, there are lot more services in Snowflake which can be managed by Snowflake itself without any manual intervention. Without any manual intervention, it will do all the things manual itself. Okay, so Snowflake offers more flexible, scalable and performance oriented environment. Okay, see, for data warehouse, what we do in data warehouse, So mainly what we do with the data warehouse? So in data warehouse, what we do, we store data, right?
Data, yeah.
We store data. So when we are storing data means data, we have three types. So in coming to data, we have three types. One is structured data,
Structured data,
semi-structured data,
semi-structured, unstructured data.
yes, and unstructured data. So see, in databases, so when we go with the databases, can we store the semi-structured data and unstructured data? No, right? So we cannot store semi-structured data and unstructured data in databases. But in data warehouse, we can store all these three types. Okay, all these three types we can store. It's nothing but a storage place, isn't it? So we can store this data in this data warehouse. We can store all these things. But in traditional data warehouses, what happens? See, in traditional data warehouses, we all have storage space, compute layer will be in a same thing. Okay, storage and compute will be in a single layer. Okay, we do next in that traditional data warehouses, what we need to do, we need to integrate that with other cloud services. Okay, but coming to the Snowflake, see, we have three layers here in this architecture. In Snowflake, we'll be having three layers. One is storage layer, one is compute layer, and the third is cloud layer. Okay, we'll be having three separate layers. One is not depending on the other. So that is one of the unique feature. So architecture is entirely different from the other data warehouses. So once the architecture is different means it will have lot of advantages. So that's why we are nowadays all the organizations are preferring Snowflake. So because of the different architecture, and it is a combination of two architectures like shared disk and shared nothing disk. Because of this, most often all the organizations are moving to Snowflake. Okay, so basically what finally we can say, Snowflake offers more flexible, scalable, and performance oriented environment. Okay, so performance oriented environment will be those will be given by our Snowflake. Okay, so now fine. See, imagine you are getting millions of records. You are getting millions of records. Okay, now you have to migrate this data, or you have to migrate this data into other databases or other data warehouses. So how you will go? Like what will be the process? So for processing, we will go with ETL process. For data migration, we will be using ETL process. Okay, what is this ETL process? Why we are going this? ETL in the sense extract, transform, and load. Right? Extracting means, see, when we are dealing with different types of data, all these data will be from on-premises data warehouses. Okay, on-premises data warehouses like SAP or SQL or Oracle, Postgre, whatever it is. Okay, so these source systems, we need to first extract the data from these source systems, and then we need to apply some transformations. Why we need to apply some transformations? Because the data what we are getting, okay, the data what we are getting will not be in a proper way. Okay, the data will not be in a proper way. So for suppose, see, when we are extracting the data from source systems, so this, if we take this is our source systems, these source systems will be either flat files, or SQL Server, or Terraform, excuse me, or Oracle. So either of these source systems, we are getting the data, and we need to first we need to extract the data, and then we need to transform the data, and then we need to load that into our final systems. So if we take this as a source systems, So these source systems, and this is transformation. So staging layer, we can call this as a staging layer. And this is our target layer. So target systems. Okay, so now these files will be in this data will be in the form of files. Okay, this data will be in the form of files. This will not be in the form of tabular structure, right? This will be in the form of files. Isn't it? Data in the form of files. So these files should be, okay, these files should be generated into tabular format. Okay, these once the data is in the form of files, that files should be converted into tables. Okay, that will be done in the staging layer. So what we are going to do here in this staging layer, what we are going to, once the files are moved into staging layer in the form of tables, what we are going to do here? So we'll be applying our business logic here. Okay, we'll be writing our business logic. Okay. See, as per the requirement, we'll be applying our business logic. So what type of business logic you are using? See, there are a lot of people from SQL background. So what type of business logics you will be here writing?
Analytical.
That is different. See, when we are transforming the data, so what is transformation? Why we are using that transformation?
Remove null values and unwanted.
Yes, here what we'll do,
Yeah.
we'll be applying business logic in the sense data cleansing will be done. Okay, data cleansing like null handlings, removing duplicates, filtering the data. Okay, filtering the data. So these are all the things we'll be doing in the transformations. Okay, will be done in the transformations. Why we need to transform the data? Because I told you the data will be in the form of files. Once these files are loaded into tables, that will not be exactly what we are getting from the source systems. And that if we load the same data into target systems, it will be very difficult for the no end users like the clients or business people who are handling an organization. It will be very difficult for them to take the decisions. Okay, to take the decisions, it will be very difficult for them. For example, if we take e-commerce websites, see, in e-commerce websites we are having different products. So you are having cloth products, you are having electronic goods, you are having a footwear, everything, all accessories. Okay, what all necessary for kitchen, we'll be getting fresh vegetables are delivered, kitchen items are delivered, everything. So if they need to analyze the product, okay, for example, if you take one TV of some example Samsung TV, if you take Samsung QLED TV with the 45 inches, so they need to analyze the sales of that product. Okay, they need to analyze the sales of that product. So, excuse me. So, please don't disturb Pradeep. Yeah, thank you. See, if they need to analyze the sales product of that particular item, so how they will analyze? See, without proper data, can they analyze that? No,
No.
right? They cannot analyze
Yeah.
without proper data. So, as a data engineer, as a Snowflake data engineering, our responsibility is to give quality of data for our downstream teams. Okay, is to produce quality of data for the downstream teams for taking correct appropriate business decisions. See, once the data is appropriate, then only they can take correct decisions to improve their business, right?
Yes.
Without having that proper data, so how can they do? So who is responsible for that? So we are responsible for that, like Snowflake data engineers are responsible for that. See, like here we will be applying ETL process. So the main thing as a Snowflake data engineer we will be doing is we are responsible for designing the pipelines, okay, to for data flow. Okay, for data flow. Now the data has to flow from source systems to target systems, isn't it? The data has to flow from source systems to target systems. So directly we cannot load the data into target systems. So without applying any transformations, we cannot load the data into target systems because of business accuracy. See, we have ELT process also. We have extract, load and transform process also. But Snowflake, most of the cases now in all the organizations, they are going with the ELT process or ETL process only because of storage cost. Okay, so once we extract the data and once we we have to load that, and then again we have to apply the transformations, and then we need to load the raw data again into the perfect target tables. So it will be a cost impact. So Snowflake will go with the ETL process because once we load the data into staging tables, staging layer, here we have a concept of transient table, which will be less storage cost when compared to the permanent table. So we can load our raw data into that transient table in the staging layer. And once after applying our business logic, then we can create a permanent table here, which we can be stored forever, Okay. So these tables also very, very important in Snowflake. So that is also one of the feature in Snowflake. Okay. So this is how ETL process works in a Snowflake. So fine. Now we have millions of record. We know what the process happens, and we know the different architecture of a Snowflake. So now let's see what is the prerequisites for the Snowflake. So the prerequisites for the Snowflake is just a basic knowledge about SQL and Snowflake concepts. Okay, so these two are the main prerequisites for the Snowflake. And so how you will be identifying as a Snowflake when you learn Snowflake. See, we have two different roles here. One is Snowflake developer and other is Snowflake data engineering. So the main thing we'll be doing here is data migration. We'll be working with the data migration projects. Okay, the main is data migration projects. See, we are responsible for data-driven flow. Okay, data-driven flow. How the data will be flowing, from which source systems the data is flowing, and how the transformations are applying, and how where we are loading the data, and for whom we are using the, for whom we are giving the data. We should be very aware of these things. Okay, first you need to aware of the source systems, and you should be aware of the transformation logics, and you should be aware of target systems, and you should be very, very clearly, you should be aware of whom you are going to represent this data. Okay, so this is how you will be working with the data migration project. So source systems, transformation logics, and the target systems. So here in the mean, now for transformations, we can apply in the Snowflake itself. Snowflake UI is a user friendly. You can easily access the Snowflake UI. And transformations, you can apply your logics by using SQL commands. So you will be creating your store procedures. You'll be writing your create statements. You will be using your update statements. So we'll be writing all our logic using SQL statements itself. So any doubts still here?
Ma'am, I have few questions.
Yes.
Okay, my name is Pradeep here.
Yeah, Pradeep.
Okay, the thing is, in your course, they are claiming 100% job placement. And how is it possible, and how we are going to do it?
See, 100% job placement is, if we are confident and we are here to guide you in the course. So how you need to explain your project, how you need to tell in the interview, how you need to explain the concepts, and we will refer you for first companies. So you have to grab them. See, showing you opportunity is our responsibility. Grabbing the opportunity is your responsibility.
That's good. That's good. The thing is, ma'am, the market nowadays, you also aware of the market situation. We have very less number of jobs. If you are referring us somewhere, then it's good for us. Otherwise, we are not getting any call from the Naukri.com or the LinkedIn or some referrals. The market situation is very bad.
Yes, the market situation is very bad. See, I can say you one thing straightforward. Showing you the placement is our responsibility, but grabbing that is your responsibility.
That's good. That's good. I also need, I mean, I don't need 100% placement guarantee from anyone until unless I'm not reading anything, right?
Yes,
I'm just
exactly.
asking, yeah, I'm just asking the opportunities from your side.
That we will
That's all
show
I
you.
want from you, from you guys.
Yes, yes, that we will show you. You can talk with the management.
Yeah, sure, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, Pradeep. So, others, do you have any doubts regarding till here?
Clear.
Okay.
Excuse me, I have a question here.
Yes.
What's the difference between Snowflake developer and Snowflake data engineer?
See, yeah, fine. Good question. See, development, you will be working with the development part. And in data engineering, you will be working with the production part.
Can you brief us?
Okay. See, see, in Snowflake, we'll be having, by default, we'll be having defined roles. We are having like a sysadmin and security admin, and some different roles we'll be having. Okay. So in development part, you are responsible for creating tables, you are responsible for creating store procedures, and you are responsible for logics, writing the logics while data was loading. Okay. So for example, if you take now the data was loading on daily basis. Okay, the data was loading on a daily basis. So you have to write one store procedure for that. And for development phase, you will be working in the development stage. You know about development phase, right? Where you will
Yes.
be writing in the logics. And coming to the data engineering, there you are responsible for maintaining the tasks, maintaining the tables. Okay, so sometimes when data loading happens, the latency will increase. Okay, or the latency or the data load completely stops to that table. So who will monitor that? The production support should be there, right? So when the count was different from source to target systems, so uh, at that time, if the count
Is
matches, so if you need to reload that table, so who will do that? Weekly maintenances, who will do that? So that is production support. Monitoring part, you will be
is
creating
it to
different
manage
guidelines.
target databases and is it managing the target databases
Yes,
and
managing the
performance
tables.
issues?
Yeah, managing the tables, and if you are getting any table issues in the production side. See, production
Okay,
side is different, entirely different, and development testing is entirely different. You will be having two phases. Production testing one phase, sorry, testing and development one phase, production is separate phase.
got it. Thank you.
Others? Any?
Ma'am, one more question.
Yes.
Ma'am, what will be the future of Snowflake and how AI will affect our job if we are working in Snowflake?
See, I can't, AI will not replace the Snowflake because the AI will be a part of a Snowflake, but that will not be any impact for your jobs. Say, there are lot of data coming in the next years, coming further years, there will be lot of data generating, and there should be lot of tables need to be created, and there should be no people, the people should be there to maintain them, to create them. See, AI is not replacing. For the next 10 years, there is no, you don't want to worry about your job.
Thank you.
So when we are in a data world, it is a vast. Okay, it's like as I told you in the starting itself, it's a ocean. I don't say that AI will completely replace. Okay, but there won't be any impact with the AI for the next 5 to 10 years. It will take a lot of time. See, AI cannot manage the tables fully. AI cannot, either if you write coding for AI, or we need to write code for AI also, right?
That's true. That's true.
Oh, yeah. So then, see, this is the Snowflake UI. So, see we need to create one database here. It's very easy to create database. So, create database. So this is a UI. Here you have to log in. So I'll show you how you have to log in with the Snowflake UI. Go with Google Snowflake, sign up. Snowflake trial account. Go with the Snowflake trial account. See, for 30 days, you need to sign up for 30 days, and later you can extend it up to 30 days. So totally you will get 60 days of trial account. Okay, so it will give you $400 worth of usage. See, once you are done with this $400, you are not eligible further. So for 30 days, $400, you can extend up to another 30 days. Okay, so totally for 60 days, you will be availing $400 worth free usage here, free trial. So you need to give your name. So last name. So you don't want to give your working email, you can go with the gmail.com also. Okay, why you need to specify companies considering Snowflake and continue. See, as I told you, Snowflake will be created on top of cloud services. See, while you are creating the account itself, it is asking you to choose your cloud provider, right? So you have to choose your cloud provider. Here I am going with AWS and go with any company you don't want to give. So go with this. So we have Snowflake editions like standard edition, enterprise and business critical. So most of the cases we will be using with the enterprise only. In organizations also we are using the enterprise. So go with enterprise. So it will be a region for AWS. I am choosing AWS Asia Pacific, Mumbai. So click on this and get started. It will ask you a few questions and continue. So go with SQL and submit. See, actually, my email is wrong, so it has given me this. See, once it is created, it will give you that your activation link has sent to your mail. So you will receive one activation mail there. So click on that activation mail, then you will see your user link. You click on that link and it will ask you to give username and password. So once you give your username and password, then you can directly log in into your Snowflake account. So it is very user friendly. Here you can monitor what queries you have written. We have query history. So we can easily identify who executed the query. Okay, at what time they have executed. Everything will be listed here. See, this is the query details. So at which query you have written, what is the start time of that, what is the end time, so which compute resource we have used, what is the size of the compute resource we have used, and it will give you one unique query ID. Okay, it will give you one unique query ID. See, as I told, we have in Snowflake, we have different features. See, we have a time travel feature in Snowflake. Okay, where we can retrieve the data which is accidentally deleted or modified by any of our colleague. So for example, client has given you, you have created one data, you have loaded some data into a table. After few days, the client asked you to modify the data. So you made some modifications on the table. But after few days, the client again came back and told, I just don't want this data. I just need the first data. So how you will retrieve? By using this query ID, you can retrieve the past data into the table. Okay, that we will see in the coming features. So coming sessions. So and we have another, another concept called clone. Okay, so clone means, see, from production we need to clone the data in, we need to get the data into our dev environment or test environment for some testing purpose. Okay, so for that, if I have, for example, I have 50 tables. Okay, 50 tables with 1 TB or 1 GB of data. So in production, but I need to get this 50 tables in my test environment and dev environment. That means this 50 tables, again 1 GB in dev environment, and again 50 tables, 1 GB in test environment. So totally I need to purchase 3 GB of data. But see, instead of going with one total 3 GB, we have a concept called clone. So with this clone, we can copy the data. Without having physical storage. Okay, we can get the data from production to test and dev environments without having any storage. That means, yes, Pradeep, basic SQL knowledge is required. And moreover, I will teach you the SQL concepts which is required for the Snowflake here. So we can copy the data from the production to test and dev environments without storage. Okay, without any extra storage, where you can save our cost. Okay, and moreover, the special attraction is pay as you use. Here, pay as you use. That means, see, for example, for suppose I have 1 TB of data, but I used only 500 GB of data, and rest 500 GB I need to pay extra, right? So total, for traditional data warehouses, if I need to have 1 TB, I purchased 1 TB initially, but I used 500 GB, and extra 500 GB is waste of cost, right? Is extra waste of cost in my traditional data warehouses. But here in Snowflake, see, you will pay for what you use. Okay, and moreover, it is an unlimited data storage. Unlimited data storage. So there is no limitation for data, whatever you store. But here, what is the main thing is, you will pay for what the storage you have used, and you will pay for what the compute resources you have used. Okay, so how much you use, you will pay that much. So there won't be any extra charges for that. This is also one of the best feature of a Snowflake. Why we are going to Snowflake is, it is fully managed, it scales automatically, and multi-cloud support. These three are the biggest advantages of Snowflake. So that's it for today. So if you have any doubts, you can ask me.